Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Chris, but I go by Derpy, and I'm really excited for Vendetta. It's the fourth set coming to Riftbound in just about a week, and now that we have all the cards revealed, along with a brand new ban list, which includes Aspirant's Climb, Arena's Greatest, and Stealthy Pursuer, I wanted to rank the brand new 9 legends coming to the game. Starting with the poster child of the set, Akali. Akali is the first ever Fury and Calm legend, and her ability states that you can empower her for 3 energy and 1 power. At action speed, you can tap. If it's your turn, you can move a friendly unit in a showdown to your base. If Akali is empowered, you can ready that unit. Now, this is super strong, lots of synergies that people have been talking about. The obvious one being Stellacorn Herder, Aurelia Fervent, but there's also cards like Jin or Yasuo Remorseful that can really take advantage of going in and out of combat. There's even a new 2-drop called Mournful Witness, which when it survives a combat gets +2, so it basically becomes a 2 cost 4 might unit, which obviously with cards like Noxus Hopeful in the past we've seen can be very strong. I think Akali is going to be very strong. I think this domain combination is super exciting to see in the game, and I think her ability can really be taken advantage of with a lot of different cards. I think the one thing that holds her back is that her win rate is going to either spike or drop depending on if she can play Stellacorn Herder early in the game. I think that's kind of similar to Aurelia in set 3, where she was a very strong deck still, but the games that you drew Stellacorn Herder felt so much better than the games that you didn't. That's why I'm going to put her in the A tier. Could she be higher? Potentially, but for right now I have her in A. Renekton is the next one up, Fury and Body. He says at reaction speed you can pay 2 power and tap him to add 2 energy. This 2 energy you can only use to play units or for the activated abilities of units. I think Renekton is going to slot in nicely next to the other Fury and Body legends, kind of like Rengar or Lucian. I know Rengar made it all the way to the finals of RQ, but I think that had more so to do with people not knowing how to play around him, but also the fact that one of the best players in the world was piloting the deck. So I'm going to put Renekton right into the B tier. I think he could be a lot of fun. It's definitely a different way of playing Riftbound, staying on low runes pretty much the entire game, and, taking advantage of that with the synergies that kind of fit with, either being on 4 less runes or just less runes than your opponent. However, I don't think he's going to be super competitively viable. Next up is Zed. Zed is Fury and Chaos. He says when you banish a card you own, empower him, and at action speed you can disempower him and tap him to discard 1 and draw 1. Drawing cards is obviously very, very strong. This color combination is also very, very strong. We've seen in the past with decks like Draven before the ban, and then Annie as well. Annie throughout all 3 sets has been a super viable deck. I'm pretty high on Zed. I think maybe higher than some others. So I'm going to put him all the way in the A tier. I like the idea of playing out of your trash and kind of having that as a resource instead of just a dead zone like so many decks have. I like his champion unit, his signature spell. A lot of these things are either, like a B or a B plus. They're just solid or better. And then obviously the domain combination brings him into that A tier for me. Next up, speaking of strong domain combinations, we're going to go to a weaker one, which is Nasus. Nasus is Calm and Mind. He says when you play a unit, gear, or activated ability that costs 7 energy or more, you may exhaust him to ready up to 2 runes. Now, Annie gets to ready 2 runes every single turn just for ending her turn. Nasus has to play big cards in order to do so, and it doesn't even include spells in a domain combination that is not very strong. So I have Nasus in the C tier. I don't think he's going to be super competitively viable. I think there are going to be some fun games that you can win if you're allowed to ramp and your opponent kind of, can't play early units or score early. But other than that, I don't see him being much of a threat when it comes to winning bigger tournaments or being consistently competitive. Speaking of something that's not going to be consistently competitive, Shen. Shen, I'm going to slot him in the D tier before I even read his ability. It's just action speed, tap, give a friendly unit tank this turn. I think the legend ability is actually kind of decent. I think he underwhelms when it comes to his champion units and his signature spell. The best champion unit, in my opinion, would probably be the Spirit Forged Shen, which is the reaction speed one with, I think, defends for 5. But other than that, I don't have much to say about Shen. I really don't think he's going to be very strong, nor do I think he's going to be competitively viable at any point going forward. Jace is next, and he's one of the brand new domain combinations, so that's going to be mind and body. He says you can empower him for 2 energy and 2 power, tap 1 energy and himself to ready a gear, or if he's empowered, you can ready 2 gear. Will he devolve into just being a promising future Aurora deck? Probably. I hope not, but probably. I really like the gear that they've revealed, along with some of the older gear that's not even played as much, that can fit super well into his deck and kind of play the game in a different way. We've seen, gear heavy deck, but typically it's equipment like Ornn or Azir, or it's just Aurora. Where this is kind of building a board of gear that then helps you get units, helps you get draws, helps you do certain things, combats and all different types of things that these gear are kind of allowing you to do. And I think that's a really fun way of playing the game that hasn't been seen before. So I really hope he doesn't devolve into Promising Future Aurora and just nothing else. I really hope to see a competitive, viable Jace deck that doesn't involve that. Either way, he has to go into the A tier for me. I've kind of gone back and forth whether I put Zed or Jace ahead of the other. I think I'll put Jace slightly above Zed, but I might come back to regret that. Mel is next. She says when you empower something else, you can empower her, you can disempower her, and tap to give a unit at a battlefield -2 this turn. Mel, I'm going to talk about Ezreal and Diana alongside her. I think legend ability, Ezreal and Diana are significantly stronger. I think champion units, Ezreal and Diana are significantly stronger in the same, obviously, color combination. But I think Mel's signature spell is absolutely insane. It's one of the best cards ever printed, and I think that carries her. Do I think that's enough to play her above something like a Diana or Ezreal? Personally, no. So for strength purposes, I would definitely have Mel somewhere in the A tier. But because I think Ezreal and Diana are just the better choices, I'm going to put her down into the B tier. It's going to knock her down just because there's 3 really strong legends in those color combinations. And I think for me personally, she's going to be third of the 3. Next up is Ambessa. When you power something else, empower her. You can disempower her, pay a power, and tap to ready a unit. She's body and order, and a lot of people have been comparing her to Aurelia. I think Aurelia is just the significantly better version of Ambessa. So you have better colors, and you can use your legend ability multiple times per turn, and you have a better champion unit, and a better signature spell. So it's just basically Aurelia Light. So for that, I'm going to slot her into the C tier. I think there's some fun things you can maybe do with like Otacon and Set Brawler and the Order Ambessa unit, but I just play Aurelia. And finally, we have Kennen, which is, everybody's been talking about Kennen. Chaos and Order. When you play a card from anywhere other than your hand, you can empower him, and at action speed, you can disempower him and tap to give a unit Assault 2 this turn. You're going to have Kennen empowered all the time, like every single turn, pretty much from turn 2 to the end of the game. So being able to use this every single turn is extremely strong. Originally, I didn't think it was as strong until I started playing the deck as far as a legend ability, and once we saw the signature spell is insane and helps you empower him so consistently. So this card, and the fact that its action speed is so good, so you push something in, your opponent plays a discipline, an unguard or something, and then all of a sudden you give your guy Assault 2 just to go over it, and you didn't have to actually play a card. It's just insane. The color combination is insane. The champion units are very strong. I am super excited about Kennen. I think he's going to be meta defining, and there's nowhere else to put him other than in the S tier. I think he's going to be one of the top 3 decks coming out of Vendetta, and that's like a conservative approach. I think he could easily be the #1 deck after this set is done. Yeah, there's not much to say about Kennen. He is just kind of insane. S tier, Kennen. A tier, Akali, Jace, and Zed. B tier, Mel and Renekton. C tier, Ambessa and Nasus. And then D tier, sorry, but I have Shen. So those are my rankings for the Legends coming to Riftbound in just about a week in the Vendetta set. I'm really excited about the set, so definitely comment down below which of these brand new legends you're most excited to play, or if you're gonna stick on an old legend, with new combinations, let me know about that. I'd love to talk about where you think the meta might be going, or what legends you guys are really excited to try out. Other than that, I'm going to be having a lot of Vendetta content coming, including case openings, gameplays, meta-analysis, deck profiles, and a lot more that maybe hasn't been seen in the TCG scene before. So definitely subscribe and check back for that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time.